All right, everybody, it is time for the talk as part of the Total HiFi experience. I am Mike Leach. I am here with Vinh Vu of Gingko Audio, and we are excited to talk about all things HiFi and what's going on at the New York International Audio Show, which is going to be coming up in a matter of days. I'll be flying out there, and I'll be able to see Vinh live in person and not just on the interwebs. And I'm looking forward to getting into the nitty gritty and the talk. Here we are with Vinh Vu of Gingko Audio. Welcome.
Welcome. Glad to be here. Thank you for inviting me.
No problem. Well, I'm really glad that you've decided to come on to the talk with us, and I'm excited to talk about some of the products and things that you're offering with Vinh Audio and what you're going to be showing at the New York International Audio Show. But I love to get to know the person behind the companies, and I wanted to talk a little bit about what got you into HiFi and audio. What sparked that interest? Was it a person in your life? Was it just the love of music, or that passion that came along? What drew you into HiFi?
Okay, for that I have to take you back to the 60s, which will date me, but I grew up in Vietnam in the 60s, and I've always been interested in music, especially American music. I learned about Bob Dylan and Peter Paul and Mary to Chet Atkins way back when. I was always interested in music. I was a part of a singing group. I play in a group. I play guitar and other instruments. And when I got the chance to go to college in the US in the 1970s, I went to Ohio University in Athens, Ohio, and Virginia Tech in Virginia.
A lot of great music came out of Athens area.
Yes. Jonathan Edwards, for example, is one of the performers that came out of there. Nancy Wilson, I understand, kind of came from the area. But I stay interested in music. I play in a band, and I've always had my stereo system. Back in those days, I was among the first in my college dorm room to have a Fisher integrated systems with cassette decks and turntables and amplifiers and all that. And I was a big wheel in the dorm just because I was able to afford that. So when I graduated from college, I was trained as a system engineer and industrial engineer. So I got hired by Bell Labs in the late 70s. And I spent 23 years as a system engineer, product managers, market managers, doing a bunch of different things in telecommunications. And I stay interested in music during the time that I was in Bell Labs in Homedale, New Jersey, where they invented the transistor. So there's a lot of technology that came out of Bell Labs where I worked, from tube amplifications to transistors. So I stay active in the music scene there. I perform at Bell Labs with a group. And so I stay interested in music, and even had my hand in a recording studio back in the mid 80s doing karaoke when karaoke just became known in the US. So I did a lot of things along that line, but I became very interested in high-end audio, if you will, in the 90s. That's when I could really afford to spend some money there. So I stay interested in audio. In the late 1990s, I started acquiring good high-end audio equipment, and among them is a gyro deck turntable from Michelle. And when I bought the turntable, I was very excited. I brought home, I set it up, and it doesn't have any dust covers, so it gathered dust quite a bit. So I went to a local store and bought a container and plastic container and flip it all upside down and cover it to protect the turntable. And my wife said, ain't no way you're going to have that in the house. So by necessity, I had to go and find a way to make an acrylic dust cover for my turntable. It turns out to be a great investment because when I decided to sell my turntable, because my son, who was born in the year 2000, started messing around with the turntable, I had to sell it. And the guy who bought it from me said, I must have the dust cover with the turntable because it makes it look like a museum piece. So it becomes more than just how good it sounds, but also how good it looks. So a little light bulbs went off in my head, and I said, maybe I can sell this stuff. So back then, the internet was just coming in, and there was a bunch of forums and chat group on the internet, and I put some ads and talked about how I can make dust covers. And before I knew it, there was orders coming in from Europe, from Asia, from Tahiti, all over the world, because the turntables started to come back, and they don't have dust covers. They're not, included with dust covers. So I kind of started that and started making dust covers. In 2001, I actually retired from my job at Lucent after 23 years. And I was free to do whatever I wanted to do. And so I started going to audio shows, finding dealers for my dust covers. And around that time, I also came up with an idea to make a vibration control device called Cloud. And that got reviewed by Stereophile Michael Fremers in 2004 or so. And that's kind of put me on the map. The dealers started to want to carry my products. And so I said, well, why don't we make a company? So at year 2000, just before I retired, was Gingko Audio was formed. And then we started going from dust covers to vibration control to racks and stands to speakers. And we can talk a little bit about that. And then I also market high-end cables for my friend Dana Robbins in Colorado and now in New Mexico. He makes very good cables. So Gingko Audio is also the worldwide marketer for Dana Cable. So that's how Gingko Audio and Dana Cable became into being.
I have a quick question I'm noticing. So you have your cloud platforms as well, and you have the vibration controls integrated with that. But I noticed that your dust covers integrate with that, with those bases as well. It looks very, very clean, very nice.
Yes. Well, when we did the vibration control platform, we decided that we need a way to secure the dust covers on top of the platform, because otherwise it can be knocked off by a cat jumping on it, which cats love to see turntables, so they jump onto it all the time. So what we did was we bevel 45 degrees the top edges of the cloud platforms. And then we bevel a matching bottom edges of the dust covers. And so that sits right on top of those edges and stays in place. So that makes it very secure.
Yeah, it looks really nice, actually. If you get the chance to go over to ginkgoaudio.com, you can check out the dust covers, and got the cloud Clearview dust covers, and then the cloud vibration control solutions bases as well. Really cool stuff.
Yeah, I should mention that since 2004, when Michael Fremer of Stereophile reviewed my cloud platform, it has been on the recommended components list ever since. Even as we talk now, it's still on that list. So clearly they view that that's one of the recommended components in audio.
And what are your cloud classic cloud platforms made? What kind of materials are they made of?
Okay. I have a patent on the design, by the way.
Oh,
And the key thing about vibration control is that there's a suspension that absorb vibration and turn into heat.
mm-hmm.
And the patent that we have is about how we can vary the positions of the rubber balls that serve as a shock absorber.
Okay.
And the fact that there are multiple dimples on the bottom plate of the platform, such that you can place as many as 10 to 15 balls. And the more balls you have between the two layers of the cloud platform, the stiffer the suspension. And the stiffer suspension gives you more dynamics, more drive. With fewer balls, the suspension becomes softer, and that gives you the fuller sound, the lush sound in the mid-range. So the end user can actually tune the system to his liking. And that's one of the features that we have. Each ball optimally holds 10 pounds. So if you have a turntable that is 80 pounds, you put 8 balls in to start, and you can vary the positions of the balls such that the weight is balanced and level.
Mm-hmm.
And if you want more dynamics, you add more balls. If you want more a fuller sound, you take the balls away. So it's totally flexible for the customers.
Yeah, it seems like a really great product. I'm actually pretty interested in that. That's cool.
Good. I should also tell you the first time that we actually live demo at a show in Montreal, 2004, we actually showed how effective our platform mitigate vibrations for turntables. The way we did that was to mount 2 identical accelerometers side by side, feeding 2 amplifiers and feeding into a software program on a computer, so that they can show side by side in real life what each accelerometers are showing in terms of vibration. The hotter the color, the more vibration. So red means there's a lot of vibration, and it goes down to orange and yellow and green and blue and then white. It shows across the different frequencies from 10 hertz to 22,000 hertz. And then it does it in real time. So the y-axis is frequency and the x-axis is time. So the whole thing just scroll like this, and you hit the table and the demo jumps and shows it. We put that side by side. The 2 accelerometers show exactly the same. And then we move one of the accelerometers onto our platform, and boom, all of a sudden, that side shows much less vibration. And people can see visually what the vibration platform is doing. We went one step further. We did not just show them visually, but we also want to show them audibly. So we have 2 identical Copeland CD player, synchronized to play the same CDs, one on top of our platform and one on the surface of the rack. And we flip back and forth by remote control between the 2. So people can hear when it's on the platform versus when it's on the rack surface. And 98% of the people who attended that demo, we asked them to fill out a questionnaire. 98% of them said they could hear a significant difference in the performance of the 2. That kind of put us on the map, and since then, we've been showing that demo live at many, many shows. We also have videotapes of that on the technology tab on our website. So people can go there and click on that and see how we did that live at the show.
Yep, and that's at ginkoaudio.com. You can check that out.
By the way, Gingko years after I formed the company, it's spelled Gingko, which I was told by a botanist customer of ours that we misspelled the name. Ginkgo biloba should be spelled Ginkgo, not Gingko. A lot of people actually just truncate, it becomes Ginko. So that's also how people know us. Whatever that name is, we got all three domain. So whatever names you type in, it will come to our website.
That's awesome. I wanted to talk a little bit about some of the speakers that you offer as well. I noticed you actually offer some kits and then some fully built speakers as well.
Okay. Back in 2005, we came out with an idea that if we take a tube, a circular tube, and mount drivers, the woofers, on it, then it becomes a cabinet that is very inert. The tubes are made of layers of papers glued together and doesn't have any sharp edges and corners to mess up the sound. We thought that might be a way to make the good speakers. And we did. We came out with a model called tubeless speakers. It sounded great. It was reviewed by several magazines like Six Moons, but I couldn't sell them because they looked weird. They looked like a mailbox, and many times the audiophile would come into the room at the show and say, "I like the sound." They bring their significant others back in the next day, and they got a no for an answer. So we couldn't sell any of them. So we decided to put all of that technology into a standard looking cabinet. Mm-hmm. And we call them Clara Vu. It's also the name of my desk covers, and it stands for Clear View, Clara Vu. Vu happens to be my last name, and I have twin girls, Cara and Clarissa. So it became Clara Vu. So we did several options of that and got reviewed by many magazines, enjoyed the music, positive feedback, among others. Then we are known in the vibration control space. So speaker-wise, people didn't know much about Gingko speakers. So we use our speakers to demo our products at the show, but we really didn't push them that much at all. In the 2010, 2012, we decided to come up with a different design called Sextet. I was exposed to a swarm subsystem by Duke Lejeune of Audiokinesis, and I was very impressed with his design in that there are 4 subs, and they can be configured in different ways to make it flexible to place them in the room, and they're not picky about where they should be. And because you can tune them by the location in the room, they provide a very smooth integration into the main speaker system. I decided to work with him and Jim Salk of Salk Sound to incorporate all of that technology into the Sextet. We call Sextet because it can be made up of up to 6 modules, 2 monitors and 4 subs. And the sub also double as stands for the monitor. So it looks like a floor standing kind of speakers with the other 2 subs located elsewhere in the room. So we did that as well. Just this year, we decided that we want to get more people into the hobby. And typically, young people don't have a lot of money. So we like to be able to come up with a product that is easy to make and not cost too much. So we came out of the concept of the Vu speaker kit that I'm going to show at the New York show for the first time. Let me tell you a little bit about that. Vu is another Vu model, and Moo happens to be the nickname for my grand dog, Monkey. So you're going to see Monkey on the banners.
Yeah, I see a picture of him.
The Moo, right.
Yeah.
I decided that if I am going to make a product that is DIY, do it yourself, it's got to be so easy to put together to encourage people to do it, as opposed to having to go through, gluing and clamping flat packs and soldering wires and all that. So I took the approach I called the HelloFresh approach to DIY speakers. And this is why. My twin daughters, Cara and Clarissa, when they became, young professionals, they have to learn how to cook for themselves. Clarissa took the long way. She took cooking courses. She came up with recipes. She read up on books. She did the whole 9 yards, and she bought fresh ingredients, and she learned how to cook the hard way. And took her 5 years to become a real good cook. She's a great cook now, but a lot of trial and errors and a lot of work. Cara took the HelloFresh approach. HelloFresh is a pre-packaged, pre-measured. It comes to you as a box, and then you open the box and they show you instruction how to heat it up and how to cook it. And 30 minutes later, you have a fresh meal that is healthy for you and tastes great. That's what I want the Vu to be. So instead of asking people to buy flat packs and glue them together and clamping them and wait for them to dry and then having to finish, with veneers or whatever, I found a company in China that makes excellent cabinets, complete cabinets that is finished. I work with them to come up with the design that suits the drivers that I found to be good drivers. So then I found crossovers that seems to work together very well. And then I put them all together, and lo and behold, they sounded great. So I view my job for the Vu design as a Vu designer as a curator of parts that are already made that can be put together in one afternoon. You can put those two speakers together in one afternoon and have a fantastic sounding pair of speakers. Not only that, the kit only costs $4.99. So it should be very affordable for anybody who want to get started in audio at all.
And they're on sale on the website.
Yes, yes, they're on sale until November 30th for $3.99. The cabinets have to be purchased separately by the customer and shipped from China to the US for a mere $315, including shipping and tariffs and everything else. So that's the complete cost of the cabinets. And it comes to you in about 2.5 or 3 weeks. So customers don't have to wait long. And once they have the cabinets and they have the kit from me, they can sit down and with just a screwdriver and a drill, a portable drill. They don't even need to have a solder gun to put them together. And they would have a fantastic sounding pair of speakers for about $800 or less. That together with some Class D amplifier that can be purchased for less than $100, some speaker cables and a Bluetooth amp and a couple of stands, they can have fantastic sound for less than $1,000. So that's what I'm going to show.
They're good-looking speakers as well.
Yes, let me turn over here and show you the speaker. That's in one finish called jujube wood. and it comes with without the drivers, and you have to get the driver as a part of the kit, and then we have instructions on my website of how to put them together.
And
the other thing that
oh,
I'm going to show, might as well talk about it a little bit now since I have the picture up, is a setup of the headphone amp called Headspace made by Dana, my friend who makes these headphone cables, and the HiFi Man Sesvara headphones, which is a fantastic headphone that's been around for a long time. They go for $6,000. Our cable is about $4,500, and the headphone amp is $9,000. So we're talking top of the line headphone setup, as opposed to the Muvu that you can get for less than $1,000. So we want to cover the bases and give the customer an option for the best sound for the money with our headphone setup, and the good sound for not a lot of money with our Muvu speakers.
And on the movie speakers on the bottom, is that a port there at the bottom?
Yes, it's actually a transmission line port.
Transmission line. Oh,
right.
Wow.
Yes, it has
That's cool. So it's a transmission line speaker then. That's
well, it's just a port. Transmission
port,
line is supposed to be for the driver as well. The drivers are not transmission line, but the port is.
The port is. Okay, got it. Awesome. Also, I know we talked a little bit about the cloud base. I noticed your vibration control solutions. I noticed you had some really nice looking like feet for the cloud supports.
Yes.
They actually look really good underneath like a CD player and stuff. Because I noticed on mine, I have some not so great looking vibration control pads underneath my CD player, but these actually look really clean and nice. I thought I'd like to bring that to some people's attention.
Well, about in the, I would say 2006, 2008 timeframe, I was experimenting with the cloud under speakers and found that they don't work very well, because the clouds with the rubber balls kind of sway back and forth. And speakers, you don't want the speakers cabinet to move. You want the drivers to move, but the speaker cabinets should stay put. That's why people offer spikes to couple the speakers to the ground and not make the cabinet move, and only the driver need to move. Well, that has its own problem, because being a coupling device, spikes transmit vibration from the speakers to the ground and back up, out of phase. So some spikes actually made the sound worse, in my opinion. So I came up with the idea of the arch. An arch is a curved device that is made of multiple layers of maples and other kinds of woods, and different kinds of woods in layers. And they're curved, so it flexes under a load like a leaf spring on a car. It's very minute, but it does. But it provides a very firm base for the speakers. So with that, I also cut the edges of the curve, the arch, at an angle, so that the contact of the arch to the ground is only on one edge, as opposed to a flat surface. That transmit the vertical vibration horizontally and dissipate it without having it to come back. And we use accelerometers to prove that it actually is very effective at doing so. At the same time, providing a very sturdy base for heavy speakers and keep the cabinet firm. I started using that for not only speakers, but also for amplifiers, very heavy tube amps, CD players, anything that could vibrate, turntables. It works in different ways than the cloud platforms. It tends to improve across the different frequency as opposed to the lower frequency of the rubber balls, which is critical with turntables. Turntable is affected by the vibration in the lower rumbles and things like that. So
Yeah.
the cloud works very well on turntable, for example. The arches actually work very well across the different frequency. So I had a patent on the arches as well. Then on another step, we decided to use wool balls.
Mm-hmm.
Half of the wool balls, a hemisphere of the wool balls mounted on an MDF base, is a way to dissipate vibration and turn that into heat. And we found that very dense weaved the wool fabrics and fibers actually makes a very good dissipator of vibration. So that you can use under CD players, any source component, even preamp, especially tube amp and tube preamps. So that's another option for you to use. We actually combine all of those products in what we call a VCS toolkit, a mix of all of these things to treat your vibration in a holistic way for the whole system, not just one component. So you can take a look at the VCS toolkit on our website and see how we approach it.
Our friend Larry put in the comments and the chat that the VCS starter toolkit looks like a nice option.
Good, thank you.
So you talked a little bit about what you're going to be showing at the New York International Audio Show. Is there anything else that you're going to be bringing besides the headphones and the headphone amp and the Vinh speakers?
Well, we're going to concentrate on those two demos. And the reason why we want to do that is because we want to give the showgoer a full view of what each solution is supposed to bring. So for the demo of the Vinh, we're going to start with a $99 Class D Bluetooth amplifier driving them. And they sounded pretty damn good for that kind of money. Then we switched to a tube amp to see how, when you upgrade the chain, what kind of effect you would have on the sound. Then we move up one step higher in terms of money you have to spend to a setup with a DAC and a Class A solid-state amp. And again, you can see the improvement and the fact that the Vinh as a speaker product keeps up as you scale up your investment in the system. So there's going to be an interesting progress that we show as a newcomer into audio can move up the chain in one demo. The headphone demo is the opposite end of the spectrum, where people who are appreciative of the best sound can realize how good headphones are beginning to sound now. They, in fact, in many ways, they sound better than speakers because you don't have the room to deal with. It's right here, and you get everything next to your ear. And the quality of the headphones are getting very high. And the headphone amps can drive them with, as much resolutions and slam as a standard amp. Even cables. We sell our cables for $4,500, and people are buying them because it makes a big difference in the quality of the sound. So we're going to show that, and we're going to switch cables on people to see whether they could hear the difference, and I guarantee you they will. We also are going to try different headphones to show them that just like speakers, headphones have their own sound, so they can see how each of the headphone models can give them the kind of sound they like. For audiophiles with not a big house, living in apartments in New York cities and suburbs around New York City, having multiple headphones give you the chance to listen to the different kinds of sound. Sometimes you listen to one headphone for classical versus rock. So it actually opens up the hobby to more things that you can do when compared to a two-channel system where you kind of basically got stuck with the speakers that you choose and the system amplifications and things like that you have. So headphone is a fast-growing market, and we
Yes.
like to give the people the best experience that they can have.
I think it's, I have a few different sets of speakers that are different. I have some horns. I have speakers with ribbon tweeters. I have speakers with soft dome tweeters. I don't have any AMTs yet. I used to have
Mhm.
some. I need to get some, but I just love how they all have their different flavors or
Yep.
different tonalities, and some, like you said, some music just loves particular sets of speakers, and like whether it's classical, I have a set of speakers that just love classical. I remember repairing a set of Altex for a friend of mine, and they loved, like, jazz and soul, like that those speakers, those particular speakers loved it. And I find that with the different headphones that I've gotten to experience as well, like it's cool to be able to have the different options when you're listening to music, and you find that you discover, oh, this set of headphones really works on jazz, and or this set of headphones is great for rock, and so that gives you, like, options. I do like, I do like my speakers to be able to cover all the bases if I can get there, but
Yep.
if you got to switch them out, it's not a big
Yeah.
deal.
Right. Well, on that note, we actually have voiced headphone cables for the different headphones. So, for example, um, the HiFi man Sesvara and Sesvara unveil are well known to be very high resolution, great for classical, great for chamber music and vocals.
Hmm.
The Abyss 1266 is fantastic when you want slam. You want to have driving bass that are great for electronica or rock. That's the headphone you go with. We
Hmm.
have voice cables for the Sesvara that is different from the voice cable for the Abyss, so that not only people can get the headphone they want for the kind of music they want, the cable is matched with the headphone to give them the best experience.
That's awesome. Well, I always like to um, connect a little more. We start getting a bit of the history behind how you came into um, hi-fi and audio, and into enjoying it, and going to school in Athens, Ohio, and building your systems, and then working for Bell Labs. And it's just really cool to see the journey behind the person and where they're at now. I always like to bring it to the point of figuring out what kind of music you're really into, and also, have you discovered any new artists or new to you artists that you're currently listening to that you're really enjoying? Because one of the things I like to do is be able to share music with other people, because I always love discovering new stuff. So, it, if you have something that you want to share about your music selections, feel free to share that now, and I would love to add it to my list of my
Okay.
musical palette.
Okay, good. Well, my taste in music is very eclectic, as they say. I like to
Same.
tell people that my taste in music goes from Bela Bartok to Bela Fonte to Bela Fleck,
Nice.
uh, the spectrum. Um, I like all kinds of music, and depending on my mood, I would listen to different genre of music in my system. Um, the way I discover music is actually very interesting. First of all, I know the music that I grew up with, right? And when I
Mhm.
use Rune, for example, or other kinds of streaming services, I'm free to kind of explore the different, performers that I've heard, I listened to when I was growing up, and that they suggested similar
Yeah.
performers. That's great, but I'm kind of stuck in the 70s and that kind of music. I found out a best way to learn about new music is every Christmas. I have 4 kids, and they come home and they say, "Dad, what do you want for Christmas?" And you know what I said? Your playlist. Their job for Christmas is to come home and create a playlist for me for the year of music that they like, that they think I would like. So I end up with brand new performers that they listen to that I had no idea about. And I came up with new music that way. And every year, Christmas, I have 4 different playlists that I can, enjoy. Now
That's wonderful.
my
Love that.
daughter-in-law, my son-in-law, they all know that that's what I want for Christmas. In terms of new performers that I recently discovered, my youngest son, who graduated from Georgetown a few years back, happened to be a part of the a cappella group at school. So I started getting into a cappella singing,
Mhm.
including, barbershop quartet, to Sweet Adelines, to some of the older groups like, you know, back in the old days when they sing together. For example, the Fairfield Force has a very good track that I really like, and I use that to demo my music. The newest group that I found along that line would be Pentatonics
Mhm.
and Home Free, the 2 groups that won the Sing Off contest in um, the TV program.
Yeah.
I also, from Belafag, gotten into musics like uh, Punch Brothers, Nickel Creek, that kind of
Mhm.
acoustic music. I like quite a bit because I play guitar as well. I even got into electronica and things like that because my friends who are into it, when I test design of different speakers, I would ask them to come and I asked them to play the music that they listen to make sure that my speaker design is actually doing well in all of these different genre of music. So I
Mhm.
picked up those kinds of performers as well.
It's awesome. I have this philosophy in life to be musically diverse,
Hmm.
and I listen to, just like you, very eclectic. I listen to everything from classical to metal to you know the whole gamut, and I even love some bluegrass. I love a lot of jazz, and but I love discovering new stuff, electronic music as well. I got into producing that for a while just to learn how it works, and
Yeah,
because I just wanted to expand my musical horizons. And I love that, depending on my mood, I can just sit down and put something on, and it just meets me where I'm at, whether I'm listening to, Nine Inch Nails one day or Alison Krauss the next.
yeah, yeah,
It's a pretty, pretty broad, uh, genre sweep there. But I mean, that's just how I am musically, and I love to have that, love to have
yeah.
that ability.
Well, the Muvu demo, I prepared a playlist that is very wide range in terms of the kinds of music that people listen to. So I can demo that this weekend with the Vuvu, so people can hear how the speakers will fare with the different kinds of music.
Well, I'm really looking forward to getting to New York. I leave really early in the morning to catch my flight and to head out there. Um,
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to getting to meet you face to face, Ving, and I'm looking forward to hearing the Vuvu speakers and checking out your cloud platforms and vibration isolation products as well. So thank you so much for being here as part of the talk, as part of the total HiFi experience. We are going to be at the New York International Audio Show, going to be in Jersey. And if you haven't got your tickets yet, you can go over to theshownow.com. You can purchase your tickets there. If you're already in the New York metropolitan area, you should get your tickets and you should come to the show. It's family oriented. You can bring your spouse and kids and just enjoy it. We love that. We love getting to introduce this hobby to the next generation. And it's something that the family can enjoy. And we love for people to come in and say, "Hey, can I play a track?" I love walking into rooms and the exhibitors are just playing music people want to hear, that they're familiar with, that they know and love that. And they're all and the familiars. We have those familiar tracks as well. But I am really enjoying getting to go to New York for the first time, which is going to be great. And
That's
I get to
great.
meet wonderful people like yourself, Vin. Thank you so much, Ving Vu, sorry, for joining us here for the talk. Also, if you want to go over to ginkgoaudio.com, you can check out all the products that um, Ginkgo Audio have to offer over there. And we look forward to seeing you, Ving, over at the New York International Audio Show in a matter of just a few days.
Yes. Yes. I should mention also that another place that we love for people to visit would be Dana Cable, DANA cable.com.
Mhm.
It shows all the headphone cables that we market. And we will be in room 224 at the New York show. So come by and say hi to us.
Room 224, come by and say hi to Ginkgo Audio and say hi to Ving, and I'll be there as well. So you can say hi to me. I look forward to seeing you all there. Come to the New York International Audio Show. Thank you for being here for the talk. And we are going to sign off. Have a great rest of your week and have an amazing weekend. Hope to see you at the New York International Audio Show.
Bye now.